So our third speaker on this session is Predrag Nikolic, who is the Associate Professor at Shantou University. Predrag. Carlo, your clicker.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so good afternoon. Thank you for coming. My presentation doesn't work? Oh, okay. So my presentation would be about artificial intelligence aesthetic. So my background is in art and design. So when I'm thinking about future cities or futures of cities of today, and when I'm thinking about human needs in future cities, usually we are thinking about technology and how we can use resources, etc. But let's think about social interaction in the smart cities and what we can offer in that sense. And if you ask any expert for the smart cities, like what are the social interaction options, they will say there are plenty of options. You can do anything you want. But they're forgetting one thing. Opportunity doesn't need that you are using something. So to have opportunity to use something and to really be a user of something is not the same. So what we are facing actually in smart cities, there is a lot of research related to that despite the opportunities we have, people are becoming actually unsatisfied. People are becoming depressed. And there is a study a few years ago about one Danish city, highly developed in technological sense, but when they started to interview people there and asking them for their quality of life, they said that actually they're not happy. So being a smart city, having technology in your city, doesn't mean necessarily that you will fulfill your happiness, that you will be satisfied, etc. So I know that all of us, when we came here to Dubai, the first question was what we can see here, where we can go. I would like to know more about the city, etc. Why? Because beside the conference we came to give our talk, also we would like to have fun in Dubai. We'd like to entertain, and of course we would like to network, we would like to socialize with our colleagues, with other people who are attending the conference. And that's actually crucial and important for citizens and human happiness. And then we are coming to user experience design. So everybody is talking about, okay, let's make user experience design to fit human needs and human desires. But again, most of the research institutions are using applications, screen experience, screen devices, etc., in order to figure out and to say, like, we are doing actually user experience design. But I would say that what we need to do is actually user experience emotional design, because what actually runs us as humans are our emotions. So to a certain level we are okay with technology, but then what actually runs our decisions and what runs our actions are our emotions. So based on that, and as a foundation for my research, I tried to use and to design human behavior with using technology and by putting people in aesthetical environment in public spaces. So that's really important. Like aesthetical environment means that people are, first of all, satisfied with perception, or not satisfied, because aesthetics is about quality of beauty, but they are in an environment they can free yourself. Because very often this lab research has huge limitations because people are under stress when they are doing that kind of things. And also, they are not immersed fully in the experience if they feel that they are controlled or limited with certain options. By creating an aesthetical environment and putting them in a statistical environment, not only that we are doing certain experiments, let's call them experiments, but they are not, they are actually qualitative type of research, but also we are capable of giving multiple levels of the meaning. So we are sending several meanings in that statistical environment like art and design are actually doing. And now I will show a few examples. Starting with, for example, inner body, which is designed for health behavioral change, and the whole experience is based on fear. So interaction based on emotion, fear, which is kind of quite rare because mostly when we are dealing with interactive media, we are trying to reach entertainment or satisfaction. So, I will show you a few projects I was doing, and I actually exposed them in public space. So the first one is installation Mind Catcher, and the idea is how to provoke creative experience. So how to involve people into the interactive environment, aesthetical environment, and to provoke their actually creative experience, their creative needs. And then we are coming to new definition actually of interactive art and interactive design. The idea is that as a creator in this field, you are not delivering final piece, you are delivering framework. And what you are expecting actually from people who are enjoying in your art piece or your design is their contribution. So somehow we are becoming co-creators. So this is not just testing creative experience and provoking creative changes, but it's also provoking co-creation. So working together, developing certain social experience between participants. Like in this particular case, when they are actually working together, which actually becomes really important for the future development of smart cities and for the happiness of citizens in the smart cities. So to allow them to work together, to allow them actually to be creative and to find themselves in their creative activities. The second installation is about how to increase environmental awareness. And it's really important. Actually, one shopping mall was invited me to create an installation, like art installation, which will attract kids, young people, to interact in a certain way and to actually increase their awareness for environmental problems and how it's important for people, especially on their age, how it's important to deal with environmental problems and how to prevent disaster of the planet on the end of the day. So, and the last example is actually designed for behavioral change, health behavioral change. The name of the work is Inner Body, and the work itself is actually published in Leonardo Journal as a completely new approach and contribution to the field of design for behavioral change, based on the fact that I was using actually interactive media art to affect certain behavioral change. In this particular case, people are exposed to a fake medical exam. They are entering the state of fear, and in that state of fear, actually, they are starting to think about certain things and to think about getting idea about certain changes they need to do for themselves. So, after all this, I moved to actually how to employ artificial intelligence in all this. And first of all, I came to, yes, artificial intelligence is people who are now in a data science and artificial intelligence, they are collecting lots of data which are based on that data set, quantitative, etc., etc. But what about emotions and actually facial expressions? So we are saying, okay, that's different zone. We are still like in the beginning of exploring data and how to use data in a sense to develop artificial intelligence model, which are actually not numbers or categories, which are more video, speech, or images and video, speech, and text. So, having in mind that also the way we are communicating today is based on certain way of sharing emotions, showing how we feel, it becomes really important for the future way we will communicate between each other, but also the future way we will communicate with artificial intelligence too. Because I saw a few examples of how we use this virtual artificial intelligence assistants, etc. When I hear that voice of artificial intelligence assistant, I'm quite scared. So I don't feel so pleasant. And it's kind of like really cold. So what we are in need actually to collect data which are beyond actually numerical data and data set, to try to find certain patterns which are related to human emotions and human reactions. And by having that, to try to actually reflect on our future development or artificial intelligence model. So I come up to intelligent virtuality, because we are living actually half in reality, physical reality, and half in virtuality. And that virtuality is not only virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, or augmented virtuality, but we are facing something completely new now. We are facing actually artificial intelligence reality. Because if we are giving to artificial intelligence to make decisions for us, then that artificial intelligence is making our new reality. Because at the moment, we are simply restricted with entering the reality we are at the moment with the devices, etc. But what if artificial intelligence can build reality based on our sentiment, based on our emotions? Are we going to end up with a content which is completely unique and created by artificial intelligence agent? We are talking about content now. We are not talking about, because when we are building certain content based on artificial intelligence, people are analyzing that content. People are trying to find logic in that content. But the content itself, from the perspective of art and design, is valuable. So, what I'm doing in my research, I'm trying to evaluate authentic artificial intelligence content. So what artificial intelligence is creating, what is actually value of that content from the side of aesthetic, from the side of usefulness, etc. So we are coming actually to area of art of artificial intelligence sense, because now when we are challenging artificial intelligence, mostly we are controlling artificial intelligence, saying, okay, let's see if artificial intelligence can be Picasso. Let's see if artificial intelligence can follow cubistic aesthetic, etc. But we are totally ignoring actually what artificial intelligence can do on its own. And we are ignoring that part by putting artificial intelligence under human control and kind of neglecting or minimizing robot creativity. So I come up with a project. The name is Entropic Counterpoints, Robosophy Philosophy, and it's a set of interactive installations. And the first one is actually, I'm creating artificial intelligence clones of philosophers. So in particular case, for the first installation, I did Aristotle and Nietzsche. And idea was, okay, I will make clone of Aristotle and I will make clone of Nietzsche, and then I will actually try to put them in discussion, direct discussion, with the different standpoints, and see how artificial intelligence will understand, in particular, ethic and moral. Because Aristotle and Nietzsche, they're talking about ethic and moral. Why ethic and moral? So if you ask yourself now, could you explain what is ethic and what is moral? It's really hard. Depends on many things. Cultural dimension, social dimension, our subjective dimension, how we perceive things around us. So many people are actually not capable to give exactly the definition of what would be moral or ethic. We are more like giving examples what is morally correct or ethically correct. But then we need to face artificial intelligence to the same questions, how they will react upon that. So that is a fundamental level of my research. Another part is artificial intelligence creativity. The quality of content artificial intelligence can create. And then we are talking actually about robot aesthetic. Because if we are talking about human creativity, we are saying humans are perceiving actually reality, and based on that, they're coming with their own ideas and they're putting those ideas in certain context. But what with artificial intelligence? Are artificial intelligence capable of collecting data and putting in certain context? Because they don't have perception like us of physical world. But what they have actually, they have perception in a sense of digital data. They have cyber data. Because if I ask you now, what is 25 degrees for you? It's really different. So we can say hot, cold, I'll get high fatigue, etc. So even our perception of certain informations are different between each other. Another aspect of my research is robot psychology and robot virtue. And as I said, even humans, we are not capable of giving actually precise definition of certain phenomena which are running our civilization and our lives. We are more into giving examples. So we are entering the zone of robot-robot interaction. And through robot-robot interaction, what we can contribute in a quality sense, in a creative sense, to the society. So this is actually how the installation itself is working. So as I said, we have like two philosophers, Aristotle and Nietzsche, and they are in kind of a philosophical discussion. This discussion is actually very often completely pointless, very often completely ununderstandable for anybody. But then the question is, are we really understand Nietzsche and Aristotle when we read them? And also, the content these two clones are creating is completely authentic. So the content they are creating is literally a result of their discussion. So they are not doing mimicking or trying to use the content they have because they are fed with the books and literature of Aristotle and Nietzsche. But they are making their own content based on the information they are fed with. Another installation is Boto Rico. It's in this case is Machiavelli and Sun Tzu. And the question I put in front of artificial intelligence is how they understand strategy, how they understand politics, how they understand diplomacy. But I went one step beyond, and I said, okay, but how to also involve people to enjoy that installation? So I said, okay, how about to put human robot-robot interaction? So to invite people to actually interact with the installation, to have certain emotions with this mechanical sword fighting, and then actually to immerse them in the content they will get from artificial intelligent agent. And then we are actually questioning human creativity, because we are saying we want artificial intelligence to work for us, so we will have more time for creativity. It doesn't work like that. We are becoming lazy. So by trying to make artificial intelligence creative in a sense of then we can be more relaxed about ourselves, we are giving power to artificial intelligence. And many questions related to this is how, so the questions which are related to Entropic Counterpoint project is future of artificial intelligence development, integration in society, and most important, how we will use in the future content created by, autonomously created by artificial intelligence based on environment and the facts they can collect about us. And then we are talking about how to implement artificial intelligence reality and social innovation, and how that to become practical for development of our society. And here is the example. The example is Invisible Island. It's actually intelligent multisensory platform for storytelling. And I saw certain examples yesterday about making devices for blind people and visually impaired people. And that's actually the wrong way to do it, because by giving them devices to improve their lifestyle, we are making bigger distance between us and them. And in this platform in particular, kids who are visually impaired and normal kids are playing together. The platform itself is run by artificial intelligence. The system is following players, and based on how players are behaving, controlling the storytelling. It's actually possible to involve players in the story itself. So that's the idea, how in the future we can use artificial intelligence aesthetic and how to employ to make people's lives more happy, more satisfied, and to affect social innovation, like in this case, when we are able to use artificial intelligence to create environment for the players and actually to involve them in the story. Based on information artificial intelligence is collecting from the environment, including facial recognition. So, thank you very much.